I'm Andrea McKnight and I am from Eagle, Idaho. My biggest challenge coming into this experience was honestly just getting me here. I was concerned and worried that I would be having to unload a lot of things that I was not ready to unload and talk about, and feared increased conflict with my husband Dan, who's also here. My perspective has changed coming into this from what I expected in the beginning. I think I thought it was more of a therapy type of thing, so I had in my head that it was therapy, and it very much was not. It was really just educational, and it made me really take a longer, harder look at myself and things that I can adjust and change in my patterns and personality and reactions to things, and less focused on what other people are doing and more focused on what I can be doing to resolve things. I see this experience impacting our team in a positive way. I think it's opening doors and gates that have maybe been shut or locked for open communication, and really being aware of our presence when we walk in a room or in a meeting. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions about ourselves that we see in ourselves that maybe other people don't actually see us that way. And I think it's just kind of validated my position in the company with Dan, and knowing that you can be powerful and soft at the same time. I think the reboot or the most valuable tool for me, honestly, would be the reboot. I think I'm quick to defend myself because I feel like I need to be in a position of defending or being defensive or validating. And I think just pausing more and being prepared to have the conversations or the situations, and not letting things get me all fired up all the time. Pausing seems so elementary, but it actually is probably the most powerful tool of this whole thing. If they had the opportunity to come to something like this or invest in themselves, to 100% do it. I think Anese is great at the way she communicates it, the way she teaches it. She kind of has that softness but also powerful personality that I think would be required to teach this type of method or a class. I think if you didn't have that balance, I don't think you'd have buy-in from people. This is different from any leadership program I've done because it was very focused on emotions, mental and physical wellness, kind of being prepared to show up as a leader, not just how do you deal with this, how do you deal with this, or good leaders do that. That's usually the same across the board with any leadership program system, but they forget about looking within yourself and how you're showing up to be a leader. And I feel like that was huge for this, and very different than anything that I've ever done. I think it's worth the time and energy because we can't afford not to. Honestly, it's just like anything else. If you have a heart problem, you're going to go to your heart doctor. If you have diabetes, you're going to manage that, but we do not take the time to invest in our mental, emotional health and our presence ever, unless, especially in a position of leadership, because we're supposed to be strong and iron-proof and just always be on. And I would say it's a very lonely place to be as a leader. I just don't think you can afford to not invest in that, invest in yourself. I would tell someone who's on the fence about this workshop is I get it. I understand, because it can be seen as a little woohoo type of stuff, and because they do talk about the physical healthy stuff and being drinking enough water and all of that, but just do it. You definitely won't come out being worse. And you'll be surprised by how much better you actually feel and how validated you feel, because you think that you're in this space alone, that you're the only one that struggles with these things in leadership, and you come amongst other people and peers that are actually struggling with the exact same things. The only other thing I would say or like to share is that I feel like this was way more valuable for Dan and I than any therapy would have ever been, because there was never a time that I felt angry or resentful towards him in these trainings or workshops. I felt just more inspired and hopeful. I think we both took our wall down, and I think it's worth it. Even if you weren't in a position of leadership, it would be worth attending, especially with your significant other or business partner, because you'll figure out that we're all just kind of the same in feelings, and it's just how we communicate them.